Then it is time for the second chance heat of the seniors. There is the 2 laps of warm-up to be given to the drivers now, which work their way around the Genk track. The way the grid lines up then after yesterday's heats is going to be as follows. It's going to see Bastien Cochet on pole position, the Frenchman. Alongside him will be the Czech Daniel Netagovsky. Row 2 lines up with Matilda Olsen from Sweden and Olivier Verhelst. Then to row number 3 is going to be the British driver Harrison Thomas, who was very quick this morning in warm-up, so watch out for him from row number 3. And then Patrick Brunquist is on the outside of the third row. Back on row number 4 we have Rivaldo van der Westerlaken and Sebastian Esner. Row 5 is headed by Antoine Antia and champion Rudy alongside him. And the final row of the grid, row number 6, will see Henry Young and Valakan Laide line up in 12th position. As we said, only 6 make it through to the pre-final. The other 6 will go home with no points to be scored this weekend. 11 laps for this second chance heat, which is exactly the same distance as we saw yesterday within the heats. So they'll know what they'll have to do. They'll hopefully know how the karts will handle as well. There's Thomas Liner, the clerk of the course, a man who looks over everything around the circuit and will tell the drivers what they need to do and any penalties to be applied as well. He is the man in charge once again this weekend. But yeah, 6 will go through, 6 will go home a little bit unhappy, but 11 laps to look forward to in this second chance heat. Heading their way now down through the hairpin at turn number 5. Pretty fast part of the circuit, which leads then onto the back straight. This is the first part where they have to slow themselves down. The marshals down there just making sure everyone's in the correct place, and they'll now start gridding themselves up. They'll get into side-by-side formation on the exit of turn number 7. They head up to the next of the hairpins at turn number 8, and they'll have the final chance just to weave those karts if they wish to do so. Final bit of temperature to be given to the tyres, and then we'll get set for racing here on the final day of action of the Rotax Max Euro Challenge Round 1. It's Matt Suckling with you here as your commentator. Jen Wade on hand this weekend as well. She'll be down on the grid a little bit later, and she'll be catching up with some people on the grandstand and hopefully some drivers as the afternoon goes on. So we are very much looking forward to this one, and we very much look forward to your company, as I said, for the rest of the afternoon. Everyone poised and ready for this one. We've got mechanics on the gantry, we've got people in the grandstand ready to get racing underway for the first time today here in Belgium. We are good to go in dry conditions in Genk. This is the second chance heat for the seniors. 11 laps of racing is about to get underway as the karts come to the grid, and we are now good to go as the lights go out. Down towards the first corner we head, and it's going to be a great start from our poleman Bastien Cochet. He'll lead the field into the first corner. It's going to be Matilda Olsen that follows through as well into second place, and then everyone will squabble for third position as they head through the first couple of corners for the first time. It'll be a little bit difficult to pick out the karts as the sun is low in the sky this morning, but it is going to be, as we said, Bastien Cochet that leads the field through after a good start from the inside run, as you'd be expecting here in Belgium. Second is still Matilda Olsen down off the back straight for the first time. Then it looks like Harrison Thomas has made a great start from row number 3. I'm sure that's his kart there in third position. Yep, that's 226. So a great start from Harrison at the minute inside the top 6 places, which is good to see. Then who's going to be through in 4th position? We'll have a look as they head through the last couple of corners. We get a good position of where they are. So 249's up to 4th, which is Olivier Verhelst, and then Daniel Netagovsky has dropped from 2nd on the grid down to 5th place at the end of this first lap. And then just behind him will be Sebastian Esner coming through in 6th place. Side by side there, just outside the top 6, which is all important, of course, to get through as quick as you can, because you need to be inside the top 6, which are now just about breaking away. In fact, the top 7 have broke away. 8th on backwards have just been left in the wheel tracks at the minute as they head in towards turn 5 for the second time. Matilda Olsen out wide there, which means coming through is Harrison Thomas. Also through goes Olivier Verhelst as well. So Matilda Olsen is down already into what's going to be 4th, 5th place possibly at the end of the back straight. So Matilda Olsen now starting to lose out as they head on towards the hairpin at turn 8 once more. Another position, in fact another 2 loss there for Matilda Olsen. Through goes Daniel Netagovsky and also Sebastian Esner up into 4th place. So just like that, Matilda Olsen has gone from being inside the top 6 now to outside of it as Harrison Thomas challenges down the inside line for the lead of the race on Bastien Cochet, and through goes the British driver. So Harrison Thomas now up to the lead of the race. He says to himself, head down, let's get on with the job in hand and try and win this race to get himself through to the pre-final later on this morning. So Harrison Thomas now leads. Second, in fact, has gone through that of Olivier Verhelst, so down to 3rd place at the end of the second lap. Now goes Bastien Cochet. 4th place for Daniel Netagovsky. 5th place is going to be the kart of who's that? 256. That's A good start there from Rivaldo van der Westerlaken from 7th on the grid. So Rivaldo's up into 4th. Daniel Netogowski now down to 5th place. We've got 6th place for Patrick Rundqvist. 7th place is Matilda Olsen. And right with them now, catching up, is going to be champion Rudy. So champion's up into 8th and only a 10th of a second back from Matilda Olsen. They all need to keep as close together as possible because, as we said, top 6 go through to pre-final. Everyone else goes home unhappy. I think the top 3 just starting to break away now as they head their way on towards the start-finish line once more. There's a two-way fight for 4th and 5th, and then 6th on backwards is still pretty close at the minute. Still anyone's guess who can make it inside the pre-final grid later on. If they do, they'll be starting plumb last, but at least they'll make it through and have the chance of scoring some points here this weekend. There we can see 253, which is now Matilda Olsen, struggling to get past champion Rudy. In fact, she's losing a few more positions now because under attack from Henry Jung there by the looks of it, as through on the inside goes now the cart of Henry Jung, I think, on Matilda Olsen. No, that was a change for 4th place. Off the back straight they come. Daniel Netogowski now through ahead of Rivaldo van der Westerlaken. On the 4th lap we now are. Top 2 still separated by a very small margin, 0.2 of a second, as they head their way through the left-hander at turn 10. This is the fight we're looking for 7th on backwards by the looks of it. That is correct. Yep, champion Rudy has 7th. 8th place then for Henry Jung. 9th place across the line will be that of Matilda Olsen. And then behind them we have Valikan Leidi and also the machine of Antoine Antia. Back to the top 6 we go then. That is our 6th place man at the minute, which is Patrick Rundqvist. So he is inside the pre-final grid for now. Daniel Netogowski, the quickest man on circuit, down there in 4th place. He's just gone and done a time which is a 56.563. First man to break inside, by the looks of it, the 56 second barrier. So great time there from Netogowski. Can he get any higher then? Can he get past Bastien Cochet? He's right on the tail at the minute as they head their way down towards turn number 9. That's Harrison Thomas, our leader. And there has been now a change for 3rd because Daniel Netogowski has got through on Bastien Cochet. He's right on the tail now of also Olivier Verhelst as they work their way down to the final corner. On the inside line, through he goes, and there is a move to be made for 2nd place here. Let's see confirmation across the line. Daniel Netogowski, does go through here. Challenging back now is Olivier Verhelst down the inside line at turn 1. With all of this going on, it does mean now our leader, Harrison Thomas, is pulling away. The gap out in front, 0.7 of a second as they head on towards the right-hander at turn number 5. Best lap being set by Patrick Rundqvist. There's more changes happening for 2nd. Look at that, everyone going through now. 2 people losing out. To be fair though, these are all the top 6, so it doesn't matter where you are inside the top 6 as long as you are there. That's the main feature for this race. Still behind them is champion Rudy, Matilda Olsen, Henry Jung, Antoine Antia, and then Valikan Leidi and Sebastian Esner down in 12th place at the end of the 5th lap. Down through the right-hander at turn 9 they go. 2nd place still for, in fact, he's Daniel Netogowski back into 2nd, I think, on this lap, so he's done it all in the final sector, if that is correct. Let's have a look across the line. They're all saying now, come on, we need to catch up with Harrison Thomas. No, it's Bastien Cochet who's still 2nd. Van der Westerlaken is still 3rd. Daniel Netogowski has just been passed by Patrick Rundqvist by the looks of it, so those two have changed around for 4th and 5th places. Very, very closely bunched though, so it's anyone's guess who is in which position at the start of this lap. Still changed around once more then as they head through sector 1. The screen will change to identify who's where, yet Patrick Rundqvist has gone through to 4th, Daniel Netogowski down to 5th. To be fair though, they need to get on with this job because they are now being caught by the rest from behind. Champion Rudy is almost there with them now in 7th place. Who else is closing their gap? Matilda Olsen also catching up now. So they're not securing these 6 places at the minute because they've been fighting quite hard, which, as I said, has allowed Harrison Thomas to pull away. He's now 1.4 seconds to the good of everyone else, and then from 2nd on backwards they are in this very long line with the rest of the pack now catching up from behind. So let's see what they can do as they work their way across the line then for the 7th time of asking. There's just 4 laps to go as they head in towards the right-hander at turn number 1. Harrison Thomas your leader, Bastien Cochet 2nd. 3rd place is the machine of Rivaldo van der Westerlaken. 4th place then for Patrick Rundqvist. 5th place is Daniel Netogowski, and trying to get through, in fact, through turn 5, but he's still right on the tail as they power down the back straight for the 8th time. Can Daniel Netogowski go through? No, he stays in 5th. 6th place is still Olivier Verhelst, and then just about with them now is champion Rudy. He's going to hold on here to his best to try and get onto the pre-final grid. As through goes there Daniel Netigovski to work his way past Patrick Rundqvist. Those two switch around for 4th and 5th places as they head through the left-hander at turn 10. I think now they're all working together just about to catch up with our leader Harrison Thomas. So let's see if Harrison is feeling the pressure as he crosses the line for the 8th time of asking. Here comes our 4th place man Daniel Netigovski to make a move on Rivaldo van der Westerlaken down towards the first corner. He goes through, so Rivaldo loses 2 places by the looks of it, because Patrick Rundqvist also made the move there to go through. So Rivaldo now down to 5th position. Olivier Verhelst is also looking to get down the inside line, which he does at turn 5. So Olivier now secured a little bit higher up the order in 5th place. And you'll see, Rivaldo dropped down to, in fact, 7th place, because Champion Rudy has gone through as well. So Champion Rudy has now made his way through into the top 6 places. So Rivaldo is now on the cusp. He's outside the top 6, which means no pre-final start for him at the minute. But we've still got, at the end of this one, 2 laps to go. As we come down towards turn 9, Harrison Thomas' gap has been cut to 1.3 seconds. And is he being caught further on this lap? No, it's about even at the minute through sectors 1 and sectors 2. Across the line they go once more. Much encouragement being given from the gantry from the mechanics as they cross the line to complete lap number 9. Harrison Thomas still leads by 1.2 seconds. The gap has come down. Second running wide there was Bastien Cochet. In fact, he's just been passed by Daniel Netigovski by the looks of it. Let's get confirmation as yet. Daniel's gone quicker than anyone on that previous lap, a 56.425. So Bastian's going to be down to 3rd place. Daniel's going to be up into 2nd. Patrick Rundqvist is still 4th. Those 3 are secure at the minute in 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Then there's a slight gap back to Olivier Verhelst. Champion Rudy inside the top 6. Rivaldo van der Westerlaken still with them in 7th. How many we've got there? We've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right down to 10th place. We have a long line at the minute. So again, the top 6 are not quite secure. The leader, I think, is secure, by the way. Harrison Thomas on his own at the minute and doing well, 1.6 seconds up the road. But then behind that, it's again not too secure at the minute. I think 2nd, 3rd and 4th should be okay. They're being told to get on with the job and pull away here, because they know that there's the big amount of pressure coming from behind here. So Daniel Netigovski is now still in 2nd, is he, or has he dropped further back? He is 2nd. I think Patrick Rundqvist now is 3rd, and Bastien Cochet is down to 4th place, although he tries to fight back at the hairpin at turn 5. Oh, there's contact inside the top for a few places there. Who have we lost dropping down the order? It's going to be Rivaldo van der Westerlaken and Champion Rudy have made contact. So those 2 drop outside the 6th and 7th places, which means now inside it goes Matilda Olsen on this last lap. So a real change inside the top 6. Harrison Thomas, as I said, looks secure. Anything like that can just ruin your race, and that has now meant that Rivaldo and Champion Rudy are both outside the top 6 and will not make the pre-final. Harrison Thomas is going to be one man that does. Through the final corner, up towards the line, checker flag at the ready, and Harrison Thomas will go through to the pre-final in around about an hour's time. He is secure, 1.3 seconds ahead of Daniel Netigovski. 3rd place goes to the Swede, Patrick Rundqvist. Bastien Cochet is also guaranteed pre-final start towards the back. Olivier Verhelst is 5th, and Matilda Olsen on the last lap with the dramas from in front of her